The 2014 LPGA season is well underway, with 4 tournaments already decided. The most recent, the HSBC Women's Champions at Sentosa, completing the first of 2 swings through Asia for the year. Golfing World was lucky enough to be there, and we sat down with LPGA Tour Commissioner Mike Whan to discuss the season ahead and how much his players enjoy their annual trip to Singapore.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you talk about great golf tournaments, I mean, truly great golf tournaments, they tend to have 3 things in common: outstanding field, outstanding TV, and an outstanding venue. You get check, check, and check when you talk about HSBC Singapore. We're in Singapore, we're having fun here, but people and fans literally around the world are paying attention. That's what gives it such a major feel.
Commissioner Whan's made a huge impact since taking over the tour at the beginning of 2010. The LPGA suffered during the recent economic downturn, but thanks to some creative thinking and plenty of hard work and perseverance, the tour is once again flourishing.
What I believed and what I saw the minute I got here is we've got an incredible product. By that I mean athletes that not only can play the best golf in the world, but give back to the people that not only write the checks, but to the young girls that are trying to reach it here. I mean, the formula works at the LPGA. We definitely took our hit in an economic downturn, but I knew we had a product that would come flying back at the end.
This year's schedule hits all the key markets and includes last year's biggest change, making the Evian Championship the tour's 5th major. In 2011, there were only 23 official tournaments on the calendar. Fast forward 3 years and that number is looking much healthier.
We'll play 33 times this year with 32 official events in the International Crown. You know, could we add an event or 2? We could. Could we add 5 or 6 more? I think if we added 5 or 6 more, we'd start to really denigrate the fields and some of the impact of the sponsors that have been with us through the tough times. I feel a certain responsibility to make sure that the ones that stuck through us and helped us get back to this point are going to love their events before and after the upturn. So I really believe that 32, 33, 34 is our cap to make sure that we create great fields, great events, and great worldwide spectacle opportunities every time we play.
Whan certainly hasn't taken a backward step in his time in office. He's not afraid to take risks or try new things. And one of this year's most interesting new developments is the International Crown, where 8 teams of 4 players each will compete in a biennial match play event for the first time.
For the countries that have watched Solheim Cups all these years but haven't been a part of it, I'm sure the feeling is, when are we going to get our shot? And the answer is July 2014. And the other thing I didn't want to do is, a lot of people said, why don't you just do the President's Cup, America versus rest of the world, or America versus Asia. That's very American thinking, you know. When you travel around the world like we all do, what you realize is countries want to play for countries. They want to hoist the flag, sing the anthem, paint their face.
And the Commissioner hasn't stopped there. At the start of 2014, the race to the CME Globe was unveiled. Following the lead of the European and PGA Tours, the LPGA players now have a serious bonus on offer for whoever finishes first in the season-long points race.
We're going to take the top 72 point getters from the season. We're going to invite them to the CME Group Tour Championship. We're going to crunch the points a little closer together to kind of create a little more anxiety than before. And at the end on Sunday in Naples at the CME Tour Group Championship, somebody's going to raise the Crystal Globe, and they're going to raise $1 million check for winning the entire season-long global race to the CME Globe.
Perhaps the biggest splash of all will come in mid-June, when for the first time the USGA will play the men's and women's US Opens back-to-back on the same course. So the men will tee it up around Pinehurst number 2 on June the 12th, and the following week the ladies will take on one of the toughest challenges in golf.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, with the back-to-back U.S. Opens, I can't tell you how many interviews I get asked about the negatives. How do you feel about, you know, where the pin placements are going to be? Is the course going to beat up? How's the range going to be? I'm not smart enough to answer a lot of those questions. What I do know is about a lot of the upsides, which is 1 week after the largest TV audience in the world will watch a golf event, we're going to be there. The USGA has been incredibly supportive of ideas we've come up with, which is, what if we put some of the LPGA superstars in your booth on the weekend when all those people are watching the men's event? How can we do more celebrating the first week to talk about what's going to happen the second week?
Pinehurst 2014 is the biggest attraction in what's set to be another groundbreaking season on the LPGA Tour. There may be some bumps along the way as the new initiatives and new events take hold, but the LPGA Commissioner wouldn't have it any other way.
I think there's an opportunity here for more people around the world to watch the Women's U.S. Open than ever have in 100 years. And so I've always said, I say this to players all the time, there's no way to think big, to talk about real growth and do the same thing you did last year. And the USGA has taken a swing at something really different, and I think it might turn into real growth. And if it doesn't, we should never apologize for trying.